Good day to our viewers around the globe. I remain Mr. Bamanga Mahmoud Ahmad. Follow me today as we discuss on one of the essential components in a computer system, which is a keyboard. As you know, keyboard is the one saddled with the responsibility of transmitting whatever user keyed into the system in order to transmit those keys into the computer main memory. So today we are going to look at each and every component on that keyboard. So if you are new to the system, please don't give us just give us your time as we discuss a lot on this keyboard, and we believe at the end of the day you will at least get what you will take home with it. And if you're a professional, please follow us as no knowledge is wasted. As I explained in the introduction, we are going to look at the computer keyboard. That's how one can be able to understand the impact of the usage or the functions of each keys on the keyboard. As we know, computer keyboard or a keyboard is one of the input devices we have that can allow user to input text and commands into his or her own computer. And this keyboard is one of the fundamental components of most computer systems, ranging from the desktop computers to laptop computers. And it can function in these four ways. One, which is typing. You can use a computer keyboard or a keyboard in order to type your text into the system. You can use it for entering commands such as the Control C, Control V, Control X, and whatsoever commands you are having. And you can also use your keyboard in order to navigate within your documents. Assuming you have a Microsoft Word document of many pages, so you can use keyboards in order to navigate. You can also use your keyboard to modify a given text. Assuming you are typing something like, say, keyboard, and you have exclude R. So in that regard, you can be able to at least use your keyboard in order to modify that very keyboard or the ones you type wrongly type, so that you can insert your R. So these are the four basic functions of a keyboard we have in place. And this keyboard is being categorized into four. One, we have standard keyboard, we have a ergonomic keyboard, we have wireless keyboard, and we have we also have mechanical keyboard. So looking at this keyboard, if we talk about the standard keyboard, this keyboard consists of a keys of almost 104 to 105, and this is the normal or almost the common keyboards we use in our day-to-day activities. And ergonomic keyboard is being produced or being put in place in order to reduce pain in our wrist hand. So that's for the ergonomic keyboard. So the mechanical keyboard is almost also like the standard keyboard we are having. The only difference is that this one is it can endure heat, and also is cost effective. So also it can make sounds while you are typing. It makes sound louder than our standard keyboard, whereas our wireless keyboard use wireless devices, such that you can put your system somewhere, and now with the help of wireless you can be able to operate on that system. So most of these keyboards I mentioned, aside from the ergonomic keyboard, they use almost 104 to 105 keys on them. So this is the keyboard layout we are having in place. So this is where we are going to center our focus. Looking at this key layout, please give more attention to my mouse pointer, where this my indicator is. So looking at these indicators, it means we have three indicators here, looking from what? Num lock, caps lock, and scroll lock. So if you paid more attention to your keyboard now, look any available keyboard around you, being it a standard or a mechanical keyboard. So if you now look very carefully at the top right hand side, you can see these indicators written boldly: num lock, cap locks, and then scroll lock. So the function of the num lock is that whenever you make this num locks active, it means you can be able to work with the numerical keys or numerical pads. So on this keyboard, if you see it very careful, at the bottom of these indicators, we have this thing house in being framed in red, this very side. So if you look at it, it's been named as what? Number part or numerical keys. The numerical keys have a keys ranging from 0 to 9, including arithmetic operations from the plus sign, negative sign, multiplication and division, then with the full stop and then the enter key. So what these numerical keys does, once you want to activate this, you press on this num log. It means this num log indicator will be active. It means at that point in time you can be able to what? Operate with these numbers. So once you press this, it will be active, 1, 2, whatsoever. So once you deactivate this by repressing it and this got disappeared, it means you cannot be able to work with your numerical keys. That's the function of your num log indicator or num log key. And we also have cap logs. When this cap logs indicator is active, it means you can be able to type in capital letters, that is uppercase in computer terminologies. So once it is inactive, you can only type in small letters unless you have a command key to that, where you use your shift plus F3, that's after the text is being typed, which we are going to discuss if you are treating offices. So we also have scroll log. This one means that if you have more than 1 or 2 pages and you want to navigate from page to page, that means you want to scroll, there is what we call scroll, just the way we do on our handset. We used to tap put our fingers, then scroll up, slide it up and down. So here it means if this light is active, it means at that point in time you cannot be able to scroll up and down. But if the light is inactive, you can be able to scroll up and down. So for you to activate this, we have on this, if you can observe my mouse pointer very well, just immediate to this num log, we have a page break, and then we have a scroll log. So once you press on this indicator will be active. Once you press it again, it will be inactive. So that's how it works. So I believe by this time around you have well understood about how you can use your num log, caps log, scroll log, and the indicators, what each and every indicator means. Please, if you like our video, do share our videos, like and comment. If you have any gray area then we want us to shed more light on it, you can also put it on the comment section. And if you have any suggestion for us, you can also put it on a comment section, please. So going by this, we have what we call arrow keys here. This arrow keys is just like the normal arrow key we use in our touchlight phones. We have up arrow, down arrow, left and right arrows. So this is used to also navigate within our file or documents. If you want to move up line by line or file by file, we press our up. If you want to go up from the bottom, if you want to go down from the top, we press down key. If you want to go to right from the left, we now press our right. If you want to go from right to left, we press our left as well. So this is the function of this very key. Please, if you see like you're getting confused, you don't hesitate to get a sheet of paper, get this thing down, as they are going to help you very well. Please, also we have what we call this very key, this top key from F1 to F12. We call them function keys, or sometimes it being called hotkeys, though some people say hotkey is the shortcut key. So but these function keys, their major duties or functions is to give a direct command to the system. Like we have F1. F1 is the universal command for help. If you are seeking for help on any environment, all you need to do is just to press F1. You can see just a bunch of text there, and you can also decide to type what you want to find out on this very particular environment. We have like a F12 if you are in Microsoft Word and you want to save as. We have F2 if you're on a file or a doc or a folder, you want to rename that file or a folder. Instead of right clicking and selecting your rename, you can be able to just press F2 and then start renaming. If you remember our last session on introduction to desktop environment. So this is for the function keys, and we also have the remaining of all these or let's say this escape key is called ESC. ESC is meant for escape key, is the one located at the top right left hand side. So what is those? If you have any pop-up message that you want to ignore it, and you don't want to press any command whether yes or no, you can be able to decide and press your ESC, that's escape. Once you press ESC, that very particular dialog box will now disappear, or that message will now disappear. So now we have this one also. If you see it very well, we have insert, delete, home, end, page up, page down. So what this thing does is that this delete, it deletes from character. Let's assume we are dealing with a text, rich text, being a Microsoft Word, being Excel, or whatsoever rich text we are doing, or we are doing programming. So if you want to delete any character right wing, you can be able to use a delete key. While your close cursor is blinking at the middle of the text, once you press your delete, it can delete by the right hand side. And then insert, once you press this, what is those normally? If you are typing, assuming you've typed a keyboard again and your cursor is in between the Y and the B, it means if you continue to type while your insert is being there, so it can delete the right wing portion or a direction. And for the meanwhile, let me just take this moment and introduce our cursor. This cursor is nothing but the what is showing the indicator where your text can be at a particular point in time. If you're a kind of you are working with a you are working on a social media platform, being WhatsApp or whatsoever, if you are typing, if you are making conversation, so that very particular black icon that used to blink, so this is showing you that this is the insertion point. It means that very particular area that cursor is blinking, or that very black something is blinking. First, its name is called cursor, and then it's telling you that whatever you are typing, it will now be at the position of where that cursor is. So going back to this, we have home and end. So it means if you are having a single written line, and maybe you are at the end of the line, then you want to move to a particular or to the beginning of the line, you can be able to what? Press your home key. It can now take your cursor from that very end of the line to the beginning of the line. Likewise, if you are at the beginning of the line, you want your cursor to move to the end of the line, you can as well press your end key. It will now take it. We also have page up, page down, assuming you are navigating within 100 of pages or more than, or 2 pages. So if you want to navigate from page 1 to page 2, 2 to 3, and so on and so forth, you are at the beginning of the page, you can decide to press your page down. Once you press your page down, it will now take it to the next page. The same thing, if you want to move to the first page, you can be able to press your page up to the beginning of the page. So that's the functions of these our scroll key or home keys. So also we have our main keys, which is sometimes called alphanumeric keys, meaning that it's a combination of alphabet, characters, and then numeric keys. So we'll start with the numeric keys on the main keyboard. Now you remember when I was introducing this thing at the first or at the beginning, we said these are numerical keys. Once you press this numlock, it means you can be able to work with this. So what happens if this refuses to function? It means you can come back to this your alphanumeric keys or main keys. You can be able to work with these keys 1 to 0. Once you press this, it can come up. Once you press, so making this active, it doesn't require anything. It's just for you to press them. Are we together? I hope we are following this session very well, please. So, and again, we have what we call backspace here. If you can see from that, our numeric keys under main key. So the backspace here is just like the normal backspace we are having when we are chatting up on our social media. Once we want to clear the left, assuming we wrongly spelled something like layout, we said layouted. You see we have added ed and our cursor is at the D. So if you want to delete to the left hand side, it means we can press our backspace. It's just the normal backspacing we are having on that our part on our handset. So this is what is our backspace. We can see it, right? So we have something like tab, we have caps lock, we have shift, we have control, we have Windows and alt. So looking at the tab here is, let's quickly remember our English language. In English, we have a type of paragraphing, which I can remember two. That's the indented paragraphing and the block paragraphing. So if you are a kind of person that loves indented paragraphing, meaning that you should push a given first line, you should push it to a certain 1 centimeter length inside. It means you can what? You can place your cursor at the beginning of the text and then press your tab key once. It will now push it to what? Inside by 1 centimeter, or you highlight everything and then push. Example now, where this tab key will function properly. You are typing a letter with an address. Let's assume you want to type address written care of Mabamanga Computers, Adamawa State, Nigeria. You round right there. You know certainly this is what is a writer's address, and it needs to be what? To be at the what? Right hand side. So at that moment, once you finish typing, it's not that you are going to use your shift key. We are going to talk about the space bar later. It's not that you are going to be using your space bar and be spacing or creating space. What you will do, just right click everything there. If you cannot use ruler bar, you now keep pressing your what? Tab key. It will be pushing the whole what? The whole of this address by the right hand side. That's how you what? Work with your tab key properly. So we also have what we call a caps lock, and our caps lock is used to what? To activate our uppercase and lowercase. We have shift, which we use a combination of this shift with any of the keys in order to activate, give a command. Assuming I said we have already typed a keyboard layout and we realize that keyboard layout we type is in small letters and we want it to be in a capital letters. So we can come back to what? To our shift. We press our shift, hold your shift, then press your F3 once. Just you hold it and press it once. Once you press your F3, you will see that this keyboard or that keyboard layout, it will now turn it to what? Turn it to capital letters. Just the way we do it on our, so we can highlight something and try to press that very portion that we want to what? We want to change from lowercase to uppercase, or from uppercase to lowercase. You can see how it changes. So the same thing with control is also uses for what? For command. Assuming you want to copy a certain text, or you want to paste a certain text, or you want to copy, you can use what? Your control plus that very particular key that you want to copy or you want to paste. Then that's how you go about it. So I want to throw more light on this issue of shortcut key using plus sign. For the beginners, most of the time they get it very confused in a way that if you said ask them to press control plus something, they will press control, then they will be looking for plus before pressing that very letter, assuming control C, control plus C. So it doesn't matter. The plus here is an indication of and, please, in this terminology. It means you are going to press your what? Your control, then you look for that very particular letter again, assuming C, you press it once while your what? Your finger is already on your control, then you press your C once. Once you are done this, is okay. So remember again, we are not teaching how to become a keyboard master or a keyboarding master. Rather, we are now trying to give more light on each and every aspect or the functions of our keys on the keyboard. That's what we are after here. Don't go and say later, I did not teach you how to become keyboarding master or how to master your keyboard and type very fast, please. So what we are here is just to let you know the function or the functions of each and every keyboard on the or keys on this keyboard that we are working with. So we also have what we call Windows key. Sometimes you can see we type Win key. So what your Windows does is that it's a shortcut key or a very famous shortcut key we use for what? For popping up a start menu and escaping a start menu. And you can use your Win key plus any other key in order to activate a shortcut or give a command. Assuming you have a very you have a many applications that it open and you want to what? Move to the desktop environment. With that, you can just press your Win and D. Once you press your Windows logo plus D, you can be able to minimize everything there. So, and again, something like Windows key plus M, it can what? Minimize that very particular file you are in. And assuming you want to you want to maximize again, you can be able to press this Win plus D or Win plus M, and so on and so forth. So this is how you will be able to use your Wins. And we have alternate key. The very famous shortcut of our alternate key is what? Alt plus F4 is used for restarting, shutdown, and hibernating. It's just a matter of selecting an option there. So our alt key is spelled as ALT, or wherever you see ALT is mean alternate key or alternative key. We have a spacebar. This is the most used key in the keyboard, and this spacebar is used to space in between a given word and a word. Assuming you are typing, or as you can see on the screen, so we have a keyboard layout. In between the D and the L of those words, we now have an empty space. So we use our spacebar in order to create that very space. Once you hit on it once, it will create a space for you. So the same thing, we have another alternate. We have Windows, which I explained. The only thing is I did not explain here is what? Our menu key. Our menu key here, what is those is that, you remember while we are creating folders in our introduction to desktop environment, we said you can right click and then you select rename, copy, or whatsoever option you want to select. So in this case, you can select on a folder. Instead of right clicking, you might decide to work with your menu key. Once you tap on your menu key, it's just in between the alternate key and the control key by your right hand side, close to the arrow keys. So once you press, it will now pop up the shortcut menu. Is for you to a matter of selecting the option or a command you want to give by either using your arrow keys or using your mouse to navigate. And the next thing I want to give out here is the enter key. This enter key is used to move from one paragraph to another. Assuming you are typing welcome to Mapamanga Computers, a home of computing, and you want to create another paragraph, you can hit enter key and come to the second paragraph and start typing again. You are done with this paragraph, you want to create another one, you can hit your enter key and type. This enter key, you can find it on a standard keyboard or a mechanical keyboard on these two ways. One, we have it here immediately after shift by your right hand side, and we have it under your numerical keys. So again, if you look at this very on the line of our backspace here, where we are having numerical keys. So here, please, if you observe this very well, or we have the lower item or a lower number on every key, and the upper character. So what is those here? If you want to achieve, assuming this is 1, at the top is exclamation mark. If I want to achieve only 1, I cannot. Without pressing anything, I can press on this 1 will come up. But if in the case I want to have exclamation mark at this point in time, I can decide to press my shift and then that very one. Once I press a combination of shift and any of the keys here, it means the upper character will be able to be typed on my document or any environment that I am typing. Please, I hope I'm not rushing you guys. We are following. So don't hesitate to pause the video, pause it, jot it. It will be very helpful for you, I believe. So this is what we have as a standard keyboard, mechanical keyboard, wireless keyboard, or ergonomic keyboard. They are very, very helpful. Without this very keyboard, you cannot do anything on a computer system. But without mouse, of course, you can be able to manipulate one or two things using one or two of these shortcut keys we are mentioning. And so aside from this, let's try to quickly look at our keyboard or a laptop keyboard. This is a laptop keyboard I am having before you this moment. As you can see, this is the home keys that we are talking about. This is the arrow keys that we are talking about. This is the home keys. You can see these navigation keys. We have print screen. If you want to screenshot your very screen, you cannot print or snip your screen. Once you press this, it can be able to shoot or to capture the image or in the interface of your screen and whatsoever, or what have you here. So the same thing here. If you want to achieve this upper one, you press your shift and these numbers. If you want to achieve only this, you press only this. And then this is our menu key, this is our Windows key. The only thing we have new here, though we still have it on some of the keyboards, but here on the laptop keyboard we have a key called Fn. We sometimes call it function. You see it, Fn. So this Fn, assuming now this very icon, as you can see, it used to what? Reduce the brightness of your system. If now you want to achieve only F5, you can just press on the F5. But if you want to what? Increase or reduce this very brightness, it means you can what? Click or press your Fn plus what? That particular key that we want to activate. So anything at the lower of the function keys here that we are having, if you want to achieve it on a laptop, we can achieve it by what? Pressing a combination of our Fn plus that very icon, and then we got it to work. And then one most important thing on the laptop keyboard is this very F12. If you observe very well on your F12, we have under it num or num log. So this num log, again, if you observe here, I'm still explaining num log. If you observe very well on this very keyboard, you have 0, 1, 2, 0 on M, 1 on J, 2 on K, 3 on L. So if you remember, while you are typing, sometimes you get stuck. While you are typing M, you will see 0 will appear. If you are typing U, 4 will appear. So how does that happen? It's because this num log is active. And for you to activate this or deactivate it, you press your Fn plus your F12. Some of the keyboards have light, some doesn't have light. So for those that have light, you can be able to what? Depict it or realize it from the light indicator. But if it doesn't have light, how you do it? You press your Fn plus this, then you press any of these keyboard that has number on top of them. Then you can get it active or inactive. So this is what we have for you this moment on keyboard or a computer keyboard. Please, if you enjoy this class, do share our videos, comment on the comment section. If you have any advice or suggestion that you want to give us, please drop it on the comment section. If you have any gray area that you want us to throw more light on this, please also drop it on the comment section. And we also have, we present to you in this very session, we have many keyboard shortcuts, but in this session we decide to bring to you a few of the basic shortcuts that we are having. These are the basic shortcuts that we are having at this moment. We have Alt F. If you press your Alt F, if you are on a particular window or a particular environment, it means you can be able to what? It's just like when you are clicking on your on your file menu. Assuming you're on Microsoft Word and you press your what? Alt F, it means you have activated your file menu option on that very program that you are on. If you press your Alt plus E, it means you enable editing. It's just like with the same thing if you are pressing F2. F1 is for what? For the crying for help. If you are stuck in one environment and you need help, you don't have somewhere to ask of, you can just press your F1 and then start typing what you want to ask on that very particular environment, provided you use the keyword very well. It means you can be able to what? You can be able to what? Get response from that. We have Control A, famous for highlighting all, X for cutting that particular file you selected or portion you selected, Shift delete that very item you selected, it can be deleted, copy for Control C, Control V for pasting, home, I've explained home. If you are at the end of the line, you want to move to the beginning of the line, you can press your F. You can press your home. If you are at the beginning, you want to move to the end, you can press your end. If you are at the last of the page, you want to move to the beginning of the page, you can press your Control home. If you are at the beginning of the page or a line, you want to move to the last of the what? Of the page, you can press your Control and Shift home can what? Highlight from the beginning from the last line to the first line. Shift N can highlight from the beginning line to the last line. And your Control plus any arrow key, especially the left and right arrow, if you are at the what? Beginning of the line, you press your Control plus right arrow key. It means you are going to navigate from what? Word by word. Assuming my mouse, my cursor is at the beginning of this M. If I press Control right arrow, it will jump from, instead to jump from M to O, it will now jump from what? Move to O1. If I press it again, it will move from 1 to what? If I press it again. So that's how it works. So continue to be with us, continue to follow us. We have a lot to bring to you, and this is just the starting point or the entry level to anyone that is eager or want to learn how to become computer literate, is for him to know the functions of the keyboard. So don't hesitate, please, to at least give us a feedback, and this will give us a morale and ginger us that yes, this our community really, they need this thing, and we'll continue to provide more for you. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for listening. Thank you for jotting down. Thank you for experimenting. Thank you for testing. Remain blessed.